everyone, welcome to Simply Stampin' for You October Card Class Tutorials. This tutorial that we're going to show you right now is a tea bag holder, and this would be a really great gift idea for neighbors, teachers, friends, a get well for you. We're going to be using green tea, which is really good for you anyway, so maybe it's just a thinking of you sort of thing, but a good little gift for anybody anyway, especially with the holidays coming up. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using the designer paper, Thoroughly Modern designer paper from Stampin' Up, which is very cool, and it comes in a lot of cool colors, but we're using the rose red side of this here. And all of the dimensions for this project you can get from us if you visit our blog, and if you'd like to join our stamping classes by email or join our classes if you're in the area, we would really, really love to have you. So visit our blog and find out more information. So the tea bag card, we already scored and did all of our marks here on our piece of designer paper, and we folded it in half. And you're going to notice that one side is a little bit shorter than the other, and that's okay because we have it scored so that that's your edge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my adhesive along the edge, and it's okay if it gets on the other side because that's going to be flipped over there anyway. And I want to make sure I get it nice and good so that nothing comes undone there. And I may even just run my folder over that just to make sure that's nice and good. Now, we don't want anybody to see that edge, so that's going to be the inside of our pocket. Okay, we also have previously scored in the center where it's going to adhere to our piece of rose red cardstock, which has also been previously scored for us. Okay, but before I attach this to my piece of rose red, I want to use the small 1 1/4 inch circle punch, and I want to punch out some little circles so that it's easy to pull out those tea bags from there. Now, I've already marked my halfway point on my circle punch so that I know what halfway is. So that might be something that you want to think about with your own punches, and I sort of want to just make sure that I have it lined up evenly on both sides. And I'm just going to punch that out. So you can see that there's a nice little area where I can just quick pull out my tea bag there. And I'm going to do that on both sides of my designer paper. And now that is ready to be attached to my piece of rose red. Now the only place I want to put some adhesive is just on the center margin here, because I don't want the other pieces to be attached. I'm going to make sure I get it nice and good. And you are also welcome to use sticky strip or any other more dense adhesive if you are unsure if your stuff is going to stick, if your adhesive is going to stick well. Now I just want to line that up with the center of my rose red piece, and I want to make sure that my margin on the top and the bottom is pretty equal. So I have that there. And you can see how those will flow free. I also then can stick my green tea packets in the other side. Now, feel free if you find some small other hot apple cider packets or other things that you'd like to give to your friends or your neighbors or whoever you're giving this gift to, or just for, you know, anybody, a coworker. Anything that you can find that would fit in there would be a wonderful idea. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of 1/4 inch white grosgrain ribbon, and I'm going to put some adhesive on it, and I want to make sure that I'm not getting the end ends because those will be what's tied together. And what's going to happen is that's going to fit right alongside, right on the outside of this piece so that I can tie it together at the end. Okay? So I'm going to kind of get an idea here of where this is lying so I can tell where I could put some adhesive. I want it to line up nice. I can also use sticky strip on this as well. will help it stick. Adhesive should work pretty well. So I would like some. That's pretty good. You can see that stuck pretty nice there. Okay, now, of course, we could just end here, but not for me. I want to put something pretty and decorative on the top. So we're going to make a little bit of a sentiment on the top of our page, and we're going to be using some soft suede cardstock, which is a new in color that I haven't used a lot of, so I figured it would be nice to try something new. And we're also going to use a little bit of rose red. So the first piece that I want to tackle is my sentiment, which would be my words. I am using the Simply Said Stampin' set. It's an oldie but a goodie, and it's nice because it really fits a lot of things, and it's a very pretty set. So I have the words Simply Said from the heart, thank you, and I'm going to stamp that in soft suede. Now again, these are delicate words, so you don't need to press very hard or it will tend to smush. And I want to just do my best of getting that as lined up in the center as possible. Now, you know, sometimes that's not possible and it messes up, and sometimes you just need to flip it over and try again, or use a different piece of cardstock. So I have that, and I'm going to just attach this to a small piece of rose red. And based on my dimensions, I left a lot of room because what I wanted to do is add a little bit of interest with my gold marker. And all I'm going to do is make a small stitching lines all the way around. So it sort of looks like I did some stitching with a sewing machine. This is a technique we like to call faux stitching. So it gives the illusion that maybe there was some stitching there without actually having to use a sewing machine. And I'm going to be doing this around the edge of my other focal point. Okay, so I can set that off to the side. And then what I want to do is I'm going to be using some scraps of soft suede and Whisper White. And I'm going to use the 1 3/8 inch circle punch. Actually, sometimes it's better, we in the moment we find out that we want to try something different. I'm going to use this cute little heart punch, which is made up of lots of different flowers. I'm going to stamp that in the soft suede ink. And what I want to do is I want to do my image first before I punch, because sometimes I'll find that it didn't turn out the way I wanted, or I didn't punch it the way I wanted to. In this one, I'm going to be using my aqua painter, which I love, and I'm going to be using some of the watercolor crayons. Okay, and I'm going to be using the rose red and the regal rose crayons here. And to save your crayons, to make them last a little bit longer, instead of using the tips of your crayons, it's a good idea to use the bottoms of them. They will tend to last a little bit longer and go a little bit further. Now, I could color and then use my aqua painter on my image, or I can take directly from my crayon and I can color in whatever it is that I want to color in. And it's going to give that watercolor effect to my image